You're listening to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, hosted by the Watchtower Database. Visit WDB on YouTube for video essays, timelines, fan theories, and much more from the DC animated universe. And now, please enjoy the show. Am I the only person that calls you Brian?
I don't know. Listener, do you call me Brian?
When you're thinking of him? Oh.
You press.
Brian hasn't adjusted his microphone.
Oh my God, you're the worst. Let's break up.
No one can hear you say that.
Yeah, they can.
Brian's saying he loves me.
I hate you.
No. Sorry, I just had to clear our throats before we start the podcast.
Your thing is doing
starting now. Okay, yes. Hello.
Your thing's doing the compression thing again.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
You're just not used to it.
You're not used to it.
This is what I hear all the time.
You live a terrible life.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to say. Fucking episode are we on?
165.
You're right. That is 165. Jesus Christ. Calm down.
No. Okay.
You want to say the spiel? This is a bit that we do every once in a while. No. You can't look at it.
You can't look at it.
Oh, okay. Greetings, babies, and welcome to episode 165 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. I'm staring Brian directly in the eyes lovingly.
That's not it, listener. It's
And
not
I'm
that Brian. He's also Brian.
Yes, I'm also Brian. I'm here to show my good buddy Brian, who I call Brian and nobody else does. Unless you do. The entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial Airdate order so that you may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s.
Wow.
And I'm Brian. Today, we're watching
No,
the
you're
Batman
supposed to do
Beyond.
it without looking at the thing.
Today we're watching the whole thing?
Yeah, stop looking.
Okay. Today we're watching the Batman Beyond episode, Disappearing Inque.
Nice.
Which you predicted was ink. I think you said ink got sucked into a pen was your prediction. That's what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So still good with that?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. Is it like a bat pen or is it just like a pen on someone's desk at a like hotel lobby desk?
It's George Washington's pen.
Oh.
Founding father.
In the trophy room in the Batcave from
Lord
when Batman
drop.
fought George Washington back in the modern day. It's 2005 and Batman's punching George Washington.
Why are we still doing this?
Because why are we still doing punching George Washington bits that we've always done here on the podcast?
Yeah, I feel like it's just they ran their course.
I know,
and we're just,
yeah.
But it's still kind of
If
fun
you're
to
just
think about
tuning
punching
in,
George Washington.
Everyone that's been listening knows that we've been making punching George Washington jokes this whole time. But if you're just tuning in, like we do it a lot, and it's just getting old, and we hate it.
I know, like the whole remember that time it was like episode like 17 or 20 was the early
19,
ones.
yeah,
19, and we had the whole like joke about the splinters in your fist if you punch them in the teeth.
Oh my God,
because it was like wooden dentures.
Classic.
Oh my God. You made a TikTok of it, right?
Right.
Or did you post it?
No, this was before TikTok. It was Musical.ly back then.
Oh yeah, Musical.ly. It was when you made it Musical.ly.
I made a Musical.ly
about punching.
It was Vine. I made a George Washington Vine. That Vine was back when George Washington was actually alive. So,
yeah, he's the inventor of Vine.
He was crossing the Delaware and he said, I have an idea for a 6-second video application for
I think
smartphones.
It was 7 seconds.
No, it was 6.
Was it 6?
It was 6.
Go to hell.
Okay. I'm looking at the thing. At the time of this recording, 10:12 a.m.
Thank you.
Batman Beyond is streaming on Max.
Dog.
And available on DVD and Blu-ray. Dog. And if you'd like to follow along, you can head over to watchtowerdatabase.com/resources.
Dog.
Link is in the show notes. I wanted to put a space there so people wouldn't think it was /resources, dog. Although maybe I should make it that just for today. This first aired Saturday, May 8th, 1999 at 9:30 a.m. on Kids WB. Is that fucking today? No, it's not. It's in 4 days from now.
Dog.
Stop.
What day is today? The 3rd?
The 4th.
The 4th? May the 4th!
Be with
May the 4th!
All right, calm down, please.
It's too early for screaming.
The compression is so high, so I could just scream directly to the microphone.
Yeah.
This aired either half an hour or an hour after our last episode.
This is another one of those?
No. That was one of those.
Oh.
But we don't know if this aired half an hour or an hour later because it's somewhere in there. This aired number 11 of Batman Beyond and produced number 12 of Batman Beyond. Of Superman the Animated.
I always had this weird thought that 11 should be one of the teens.
Okay. This was written by Stan Berkowitz.
Do you know what I mean?
No. What?
Like 13, 14, 15.
Yeah. Why not 12?
Well, 12 teen doesn't make sense. 11 teen? 11 teen sounds right. Hold on. There's a Bitly knocking at the door.
What's that? Oh, it's watchtowerdatabase.com/resources. Dog.
Bubba, you want to come up here?
I would say you'd have to call it like 1 teen and 2 teen.
No, 11 teen. That sounds normal, doesn't it?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not you, I guess. I don't know.
You don't think 11 teen sounds
it sounds like a cool
if you say
word
like
or something.
12 teen, like that sounds bad.
No, then you don't.
10 teen sounds bad. 11
teen isn't 13 teen.
What? No,
you're not taking the
teen.
full name of it. You just like tweet.
Imagine if you took the teen off it though. Thir.
Teen. If you put a teen on there, it sounds right.
Yeah, like 11 teen.
That's so cool. No.
Come on.
How about a 11 teen?
11 teen.
Elateen. That's like the Pokemon evolution in the middle of Elekid and Electabuzz that I've just invented.
11 teen?
Elateen.
No, just
He's got like
11
swoopy
teen,
emo
dude.
hair and like Converse. I just don't care about. And he speaks English. He speaks full English.
But only for that one iteration.
I don't care about my parents. Can he speak? Elateen. Written by Stan Berkowitz. Directed by Kurt Gaeta. Music is by Christopher Carter and animation is Coco/Dong Yang.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just happy it's not Group Tech Ltd, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
/ the other one. We are going to do Coffee with Kyle.
Coffee with
after
Kyle.
when he's here.
Oh.
Coffee with Kyle.
I bet that would be a great. Can't just go into a coffee shop with Kyle.
Yeah.
Host of the Film Realists podcast.
Oh, yeah, we're just going to plug it now.
Why not?
We'll just say it now. We'll say it later. We'll say it at the end. We'll say it all the time.
He's the hardest working man in
Kyle.
showbiz.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
he's the hardest
Dolly
working show
Parton.
in man biz.
Who's the hardest working?
I don't know. I know what you're talking
Somebody
about.
had that.
I don't know. But we will do a push-up for every $1, so wait till the thing and we'll do that. Make sure to look at our membership levels on the Buy Us a Coffee website. You can send us Yoppie Bebs on a monthly basis and gain access to some pretty shway exclusives, such as Brian giggling in the background. You just get a
just
MP3.
of your everyday life.
Can we just get MP3s that you can purchase of Brian's various styles of laughter? There's everything ranging from Jamie tells a mildly funny trip and you can go, yeah, there it is, to the like thing you were doing just now. Those sounds, and then there's the guffaws at the top. You know, the whole spectrum here. Yeah,
we'll do like.
Would you pay for that?
We'll do like ringback tones. Remember when those were a thing?
Yeah.
So someone calls you and you just hear me giggling, and then the phone picks up. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, was that the tone, or were you just giggling on the line the whole time?
Harold, is that you?
I'll never know. Well, we were talking about trying to. We didn't figure it out ahead of time, but we're talking about trying to do like the spinny thing. The what do you call it? The wheel.
Yeah.
You spin a wheel and
we're gonna do this
thing. I think that'd be a good idea.
I love this idea, honestly, because I made it.
Yeah, people submitting we'll figure out what level this will be at and stuff soon. This is a horrible description of it, but trying to do a system where like we revisit an episode every once in a while. Maybe it was an episode.
Do you want me to handle the description?
Sure,
I
yes,
can do it better than you.
Please.
Okay.
God.
Hi, listener. It's me. Jamie hates me. Okay. So we have this idea of doing a revisiting thing because you people out there like want me to watch On Leather Wings amongst other things that we didn't review favorably, or maybe
that's what we'll
missed
call it.
some
On
things.
Leather Wings amongst other things.
But the idea is that you can submit a request for us to revisit an old episode that we've done and try to give it another take. And
it could be one that you think we didn't give it its fair shot. It could be one that we really liked, and you should get to watch that again or something.
Yeah, and basically you'll make a submission. We'll put it on like a wheel, like a spin a wheel randomizer thing. And that will be that. Let's see. I think the way it works, if your time goes on, like it's been like with each subsequent choosing, if yours doesn't get chosen, it ends up taking up a larger portion of the wheel. So then you get better shots as it goes on longer. Yeah. So that, if the first person to submit, if
how
it's
do
been
we
a
do
month
this?
or
Do we have
two,
to code this shit or something?
No, there's just a web page.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I like the internet's done it for us. We
don't
have to do anything. Pay us money.
Yeah. But I think that it would involve like, I want to re-listen to the episode that we released first. I want to like listen to why people think that we need to, like, okay, well, what did we miss? What did we not feel? Because also I don't want to just like recycle the same old thing. Like I want to know what we said.
They said it again. Yeah, they said the same comment.
Yeah, because then it's just, we've already done that episode. So
do we still agree with our old assessment? Do we think, we've seen it in a better light? Maybe you can even include a little comment why you think we should rewatch that one. Oh, I really like the Sewer King because this 5 reasons. And then we'll go, well, you're wrong and we're not watching that. But I'm just kidding. We'll do that. We'll do it.
And it'll also be cool to then, as things have been going on, because like, how long has it been since we've roughly since we've seen a BTAS episode?
Oh, at all?
Yeah, years.
Yeah, couple.
Because we had,
unless you count Sub-Zero, which not really, but yeah. I mean, well, I thought you were just saying since we started, because we started the podcast just over 4 years ago now. Oh my god. Hooray!
Wow.
But yeah,
so that's something that's going to be coming your way if you want to become one of the Yoppie dudes. You become can we call out Dylan real quick?
Oh yeah. Well, we have to, because he became our first member on the Buy Me a Coffee. He became a Dylan Pollock at the Dylan Pollock level, which I believe my description there has something to do with like. How he can't sue us for his likeness or something like that. And then he sent me a message like, I didn't really know what to think of it, but I'm cool with it or something. So
Dylan, what a real bro.
But he said, but where did you get this photo? And I said, oh, those are 8-bit sunglasses I photoshopped onto your face. You weren't actually wearing those sunglasses.
Amazing, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't know what level the spinny thing will be at, but you'll see it on there. It'll be there at some point soon.
Probably on like $70, $90, $2,000 a month.
Oh yeah.
No, it won't be too expensive, but because it's going to be like a bonus episode thing, it won't come out.
You're getting to choose what we do for that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you'd make it like $1, because then everyone would just do it, and then we wouldn't be able to do the regular podcast. Yeah. So it's got to be a little more exclusive.
Exactly.
But that being said, I think everyone's going to be able to listen to it. It's not just going to be...
Yeah, it'll be public, but if you want the chance to tell us which one we should revisit...
Okay, there you go.
That has to be a thing.
Maybe we just make it the Dylan Pollock level. That's like...
Yeah.
The true and blue.
Yeah, if you're a real Dylan Pollock.
If you're a real Dylan Pollock.
Mm-hmm. And really, if you really think about it, the Dylan Pollock level being $10, that's just 2 Yoppie Bevs. If you had gone on normally and bought 2 Yoppie Bevs, that's the same thing. So it's fine. You got that.
You can do that.
Look, we're doing this podcast for you for 14 minutes already, so we should probably fucking go watch the episode, okay?
That's a bad idea.
Okay. Was that the transition? I think so. Thanks, listener. Here's Disappearing Inque.
Still at it, huh?
She can huff and puff all she wants, but she ain't gonna blow this place down.
I know why she hasn't tried yet. I ran some tests on her residue. The human part of her DNA's been damaged, probably by being frozen.
So?
Back at the cryogenics place, weren't you wondering why Inque didn't morph into her human form and just walk out of there with the other workers?
Yeah. Kind of.
Right. The reason she didn't do it is because she couldn't. She can't go back to her human form.
And if I were her, I'd be looking for a good doctor right now.
You think?
Yeah. There can't be too many doctors or labs that do that kind of work around here. Let's get on the computer and make a list of... Oh.
One other thing. It's not as good as Mr. Freeze's gun, but it's the best I could do on short notice. Be careful.
Hi, we got Kyle. All right.
We got a Kyle.
Thanks for listening. We're gonna do push-ups with Kyle because he requested it.
But I got
did.
this dog lap.
Well, I never tell you to do that. You just do it. Why do you have?
You can
a
do
dog?
some squats.
For God's sake.
Yeah, I'll do squats with a dog.
You can
with
hold the dog in
Dog
squats.
squats.
Dog
Be sure.
squats.
Yeah.
You can go to the link in the description or whatever I say. Today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from Samuel G. Olesh, who bought 2 Yoppie Bevs. This little space where you write something says, say something nice. And I can't change that. I wanted to put something else. But he just says, something nice. Ha! So. I guess we have to do 10 squats or push-ups or something or whatever.
10 something.
I'm doing
nices.
push-ups. I'm not doing squats.
You're not doing
push-ups?
squat.
Okay, I'm not doing squat. I'm not doing shit. I'll do sit-ups.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know, Kyle, do you want to do a podcast or should we just like shoot the shit?
I mean, I miss you guys, so either work for me. This is all getting cut, so it's fine. We can talk about
it's
Batman
probably
Beyond.
not. Can you please tell me what happened in Disappearing Ink, Kyle?
Wow.
Synyap, if you're wondering. Synyap, synyap,
Bubs.
Bubs.
you just watched. Synyap, synyap, take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Okay, so Derek Powers is working with this guy named Walter Shreve.
No.
Sorry, those are my notes from a different episode.
Oh, yeah, I
Thanks,
guess we should
Stan.
mention- yeah, that's why Kyle's here for this one. He really wanted to be on Shriek, and then we met up with Stan Berkowitz at a Comic-Con, and he said, I want to be on Shriek, and we said, I'm so sorry, Kyle. Stan Berkowitz trumps you a little bit. So, I did feel bad, but not too bad. Anyway, continue.
No, you get the writer of the episode. You talk to the writer of the
Yeah.
episode. Like, it was fortunate for me when I had you on for Crisis that
'Cause
I was
I wrote
also
that
able
movie.
to schedule
Yeah.
and yeah, exactly. And Jim was just there to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, Disappearing Ink. Brian, I love you so much, but I also hate you because as I was kind
That's
of
the
prepping
same,
for the
yeah.
episode, my brain kept going Inque, and then with this week,
That's how you pronounce
and then the week we're recording this, Aquaman. I was like, Brian, you have to stop. I can't with the
it. Those are how things are
mispronunciation.
pronounced now. Yeah.
I mean, you could either be upset at me for it, or you can just adapt, evolve, and become one of the Yoppie dudes who says things wrong.
You can become a Dylan Pollock.
I mean,
on Buy
it's
Me a
in my
Coffee.
brain already. Like when I type in my brain now, what I'm
You're
thinking
Inque.
about it is Inque.
Well, you
It's
kinda
not
have
Inque
to.
anymore.
Yeah.
Well, not if you've got like any kind of like French influence in your language, then it would just be.
I mean, that's kind of what my brain does to spell anything like that's a weird spell. Like even just a normal English word. Like when I type definitely, most people type like definitely or defiantly because they're dumb. If you do that, that's not how you spell that. But my brain just types like definitely. Like, oh, okay, now I remember how to do it.
That's gonna help
Yeah.
me for real.
Thank you.
Or there's the Jim Carrey beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that helps.
So
Spelling's
Disappearing Ink.
So we meet Aaron working at Gotham Cryogenics.
That's my son's name.
I know. I was like, I totally forgot. He is working as something. We don't really know what this guy's job is. He's working he's like a technician of some sort, I believe. I don't know if he's just checking. He's not a guard.
I think is the title.
He's a
No,
creep.
he's not
yeah.
a guard.
He definitely wants to make ice babies with ink.
Damn
Please
it, Jimmy.
clap.
And so he wants a raise for whatever his job he's doing. Little does he know he's being filmed by Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yes.
And they're like, "You're fired for kissing our frozen criminals because they still have rights."
To be fair, that's a really good thing to be fired for. Like, yeah, you deserve
Yeah.
that.
I wanted his lips to get stuck to the ice block. Oh, fuck. How did you know what I was doing? You kept leaving like your lips on the ice.
It's just slowly caving away that one part
Yeah.
he kisses all the time. It's melting away.
He's like pressing his face more and more into it, just leaving an impression. Yeah.
One day I will be next to Inque's face.
Yeah.
And then so he gets fired, and then I'm assuming it's within 24 hours he decides he's going to break her
had
out.
the same question. It just cuts to him. He's like, get your stuff and get out of here. And then it cuts to him immediately, like breaking back in. And we're like, is this the next day? Is this a week
I
later?
assumed
What's
it
going
was
on?
that
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah,
assumed
it
he
could have
got
been
his
that
stuff out of his
afternoon,
locker
yeah.
and went, but maybe not.
I'll put my blue coat on, and then when I'll come back in my purple coat, and no one will know who I am. Yeah.
But what we don't know is the purple coat has a growing and shrinking crowbar that he pulls out of his
It's
coat.
a like expanding crowbar. It's like a bow staff that flicks out. Yeah.
I was watching this episode in the family room, and my wife Nalina was watching it with me, and I don't think I'd ever noticed that detail before, and I had to pause and rewind. I'm like, just look at the crowbar. She's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know.
Pulls it out
I
of his
don't
ass.
know.
Yeah, who knows?
So he cuts the power, he releases Inque. Cut to the Batcave where Bruce is finally giving Terry. It's weird because we know he's seen part of the Batcave because the freeze gun, which was in. Is this technically a real first sequel of episodes in Batman Beyond so far? Like it's
Kind of,
straight
yeah,
continuation?
I guess so. Yeah. And I like for timeline clues, he says, like, I've been Batman for 6 months and you got to show me some shit. What the hell's going on? But then they're walking past all the shit that he's definitely seen before. So
Seen already.
it's like,
yeah.
what you spend a bunch of time in there, you could just go over there and like poke around. I
Just
guess.
walk
Yeah,
around?
yeah. There's like plaques that say, like, the Gray Ghost costume. And you're like, what the hell is this? Well, if you can fucking read, it's
You'll never be the world's greatest detective.
the Gray
with
Ghost.
Questions like that.
I've already printed out everything you need to know about the Gray Ghost. I thought you might want to know.
He just hands him a VHS tape, and Terry's like, I don't. What is this?
Do I eat this?
Is this a fruit roll up?
There's 2 fruit roll-ups in here. It breaks it open. No, what the fuck?
And so he's giving him the tour. We see a bat suit of armor that we're definitely not going to see anymore. And I know I've sent this into my mail. One of the elements that I'm picking up more so on this time than ever before is, for the most part, each episode kind of gives us a little bit more of information. Like, it's not like, here's why I quit, here's exactly what happened during Rebirth Part 1.
Right.
But it's like each time something is connected to Bruce's past, it sort of fills in that. Obviously, we're never going to get all 40 years filled out.
Yeah.
But it's like little pieces of information. And so they see the Batsuit. He tells him his heart was related to why he quit, which is true, going back to Rebirth.
Which Brian only knows because I edited the heartbeats back into the episode. Fucking HD bullshit.
I had a rant about Superman.
Yeah.
I think for Nighttime, we talked about how poorly Warner Brothers Home Video treated the Superman
Oh, yeah.
show.
The out of focus shots and stuff. Yeah.
Man, anytime I hang out with you two guys, I'm reminded just how bad I am at this.
Oh, I've forgotten everything, haven't I? Yeah.
It's unreal.
I mean, the benefit is being a fan of this stuff, but then anytime James or Watchtower Database would put out stuff, I would be like, oh yeah, I knew that, but I definitely forgot about it. Like,
That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
And so I did it. My bad. Inque has escaped and they're notified via an alarm. Bruce goes to check it out. He's handed the freeze gun, again, connecting it to Blackout. We then cut to cryogenics. All the police are there and Inque escapes being somebody's coat. And I had to make a note of this because I didn't think we had, but this is really the first time we see Terry's Batman interact with the police.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right, in any meaningful way, right? Like
Yeah.
like we've done how many episodes of Batman and then
Normal
the New
Batman,
Adventures.
yeah.
You're so used to it, but to actually have a back and forth, and not shockingly, the cops suck, or at least the one who's in charge.
They suck so hard they don't realize that they weren't wearing a coat before.
well, they also suck so hard. They're like, Batman, get him. Wait, we could use his help with this.
Yeah.
That was
Where'd
like
he go?
one breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one that sounds exactly like Bruce Timm's, like,
Timm,
well, he could be over there, or she could be over there, or she could be over there. And we then cut to Aaron in his Gooner cave, and Inque shows up. She's extra liquidy because I guess she's falling apart due to getting too wet. Take that what you will. And she needs his help. They then devise a plan to go to the factory with all the chemicals. She tells him he'll give a reward. And she definitely means sex, but it doesn't go that far.
Or she
So
at
we'll
least
get to that.
wants him to think that's what she means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exact. Yeah.
Your eternal reward.
Yeah.
And kicks him into the Cave of Wonders, and he's stuck down there forever.
Do you guys know who originally was supposed to be Jafar?
Probably, but I've forgotten, much like Brian.
No.
It was Patrick Stewart.
Really?
Whoa.
Okay.
And he says it's the biggest regret of his entire career is he
Wow.
said no.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like, I like the guy that did it. I don't
Yeah.
know his name. I think it's
It's not Patrick Stewart, that's for
it's
sure.
Jonathan
It's
Freeman because of my
John
friend.
Freeman.
Yeah, it
John
is.
Freeman. Yeah. Anyway,
And so they go to the crush factory where Inque is pouring all different sodies into some tubes.
we got
And-
strawberry. We got the last flavor we need.
Yep. Terry shows up because he's not so stealthy yet. Although, dude, you can just be invisible. But I know
We
that
said the
bothers
same
mine.
thing.
Yeah, when he grabs a chain, or like, you said, why would you like allow yourself to like fuck up that hard while you're saying, and why aren't you invisible? But then we both immediately were like, oh, it's kind of nice that he's fucking up, like, because he's only 6 months in. He's still kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to print out things from a computer. I'm just a little boy. What do I do?
I mean, which is so accurate to now. Like, how
Yeah.
many Gen Zs don't know how to print things? Like, what's a printer? Like, you don't just
What's a record player?
What's a record
There's
player?
a dog in the room. Woman in corner. It's like a weird fart. Yeah.
Another thing that I like and I appreciate so much about this version, and like they're following along chronologically, is like Terry's slowly getting better at this, but he's not spent years training like Bruce did. So he gets his ass handed to him, and obviously Inque is mad that he's the reason she's all goopy. So she takes him hostage. We then go to another abandoned sports facility because it's Gotham and things have only gotten worse.
When he said, like, I'm in some sort of, it's like an arena or something, like it's abandoned.
A glass-topped arena.
Yeah, and then Bruce goes like, can you be more specific? Like, give me more details. And Brian's like, do you need more? There's probably one of those.
But then again, you're right with Gotham. It'd be
Gotham,
like,
yeah.
he's like, I'm in an abandoned
Some sort of
amusement park.
Yeah. It's
Damn it! Terry could be anywhere.
He's on the entire perimeter of the town. Yeah.
Yeah, so they communicate, and then Aaron says, I want to be like you. So then Inque gives him the cream soda, and he turns into mush off camera.
Yeah.
Bruce then shows up in a trench coat, not to flash Inque, but to show that he's in the bat suit or the bat armor we saw earlier. And I'm so excited for Jordan Newman to talk about this,
yeah.
but one of the reasons this was an alternate idea was any use of music we're familiar with, and hearing Christopher Carter's version of Batman the Animated Series theme
Yeah.
in the new metal. It's like those moments there definitely is only the one moment, but when they did that, I absolutely adored it. And so they have a fight. Brucey has some heart problems because obviously he has to maintain them. And it would have been cool to see the same effect from Rebirth, but obviously we don't. He's just
Yeah.
like, "Ah,
I mean, it's a very quick
my
little
arm's
thing
stuck
that's
in the
going on."
ground. And then
My arm's stuck in the ground, just like in Rebirth. I'm going to shoot a man.
I'm going to shoot the goop lady. In that fight, Terry is able to break free. He shatters the window, and then Inque is washed away. Aaron is then put in a little pen, and he now has the exact same relationship he had with Inque, although the dynamic is flipped, and he's a gooey boy getting fed his blended foods. Haha, the end.
I like how Inque was stuck in a ice cube. Yeah.
Formal request.
Haha, the end has
Haha,
to be
the
how
end.
you end every synopsis.
No, just when we do the Yopisode guide. Can
Oh,
it,
yeah, of course. Of course.
the end.
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, just making sure.
The good note for future James listening and typing this out. Yeah, Inque's in an ice cube. Aaron is just in like a petting zoo like pen, and like he, as we saw, has basically Inque powers when he's like, "No, you promised," and starts wrapping up in like mixing juices with her. And it's like, couldn't he just warp out of there? Like, just if he wanted to. But instead, he seems to be helpless, like so helpless that he has to just, oh man, I got to endure this shit.
Well, that's what I don't get is that he, and maybe you guys can fill me in on this. at the start, he's like kind of like walking over there and he like gets in Inque's way.
He looks like a seal.
He's got a little bit of a seal thing
Like
going
he's
on.
like-
Boy from
But he's like,
that one
he's
episode.
talking and he's moving. And then we fast forward, chug.
Ding.
Yeah, he's in a pen. He doesn't have to be frozen or anything. He's just like in there, but he seems to be unable to talk, unable to feed himself. But like he was previously moving around.
But as I'm saying that, I think maybe he just got close enough to her that he started kind of wrapping up in her, and then she freaked out and started going all over the place. And that's what was making that happen. But it was a little vague. I don't
he's
know.
still wrapped up in like
Yeah,
he was
he
like
can move at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said like you
yeah.
promised, and now he's in this pen and he's completely unable to move, unable to feed himself. He just has to listen to this like his new stalker doing the misery thing.
She also kind of looked like that lady too.
I think it was probably
She
a
does
misery
look like
throwback.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is they make a point of saying, "You promised you." She
Yeah.
only gave me half of the, and it's like, okay, Inque. It's such comic book nonsense, but you're like, okay, she's just like a gel. She's made of dippity doo from the 90s, like just all over the place. And you're like, the way I looked at him, I'm like, do you have any bone structure? Like, is that what's going on here? Like, he doesn't have full gross motor.
He's
So
more
it's
like Harry Potter arm boneless spell. And she's more
Yeah,
like
exactly,
an
in
actual
Chamber of
liquid.
Secrets.
Yeah. She's the stuff he has to drink that he doesn't like.
Oh my god.
his mushy, was it peas, mashed potatoes, and fried chicken?
Something
or
like-
something, I think.
Yeah. That she like hits twice with a glass and it turns brown.
Yeah.
I'll give you the official synopsis real quick before we get into all this shit. Inque returns for a final showdown between herself and Batman, but when Terry's captured, will Bruce be able to take up the mantle of the Bat to save him? Seems like a very yes, I think he will.
Yeah, probably.
Like what else? What
No,
else would
Bruce
that mean?
dies.
Yeah, he's like, will he be able to take a no? Okay. The animation in this episode was kind of a mix for me, a mixed bag, I guess. A mix of mashed potatoes and peas and whatever. Because like as much as I like the Coco Dong Yang ones lately, this kind of felt like I don't know, they weren't putting as much effort in or something. Like the ink stuff is always good. It's very like it has good physics to it and drippiness and stuff like that. But I don't know, the scene where she's like a spider and chasing Batman through the like pipe stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like in a different episode or like it could have looked better. It still looked pretty cool. And I think the best shot of that whole thing, and it's keen effects that I'm jumping to, I suppose, but when Batman turns on his rocket boots inside her and then like blasts out of her and the smoke is very good and it has a lot of good weight to it and stuff. But that was like one of 3 shots in the whole episode that was like, oh yeah, here we go. This is great. And the rest is just kind of like stuff happening. I don't know.
I wasn't taken out of the story by it.
And I'm also not trying to be Brian negative about this, you know.
Yeah, who would do that?
I don't know. Aquaman.
But the bar they've set in Batman Beyond is
True.
it's interesting because like now with where you guys are in the show, I think we've discussed it as like phase 2, I believe.
Kinda,
phase
yeah.
2 kind of coming, which is, it's so interesting going back and forth with the studios because, and I know Brian, you've pointed this out, which is it's so interesting how everything kind of just feels very Saturday morning cartoon when they're dealing with Superman. And I mean, you guys were talking about the Aquaman episode, but for the most part with Coco Don Yang in
The dogs just won't let us podcast
What?
today.
How did you open the door?
You didn't close it all the way, I guess. They're velociraptors. You put the frog DNA in them, and what do you expect?
How did you do? Oh my god! One moment, please.
Oh, God.
the defeat on Brian's face
One moment,
when the
please.
blanket fell down. He was like, it's fine. And then the dog burst and he's like, oh,
How? Yeah.
how did you do this?
What the fuck happened in this episode?
We were talking about Coco Don Yang.
Yeah.
So like the Saturday morning look of Superman is not a problem. And I mean, you guys talked about it with Fish Story.
Yeah.
And that was obviously a different studio. But Coco Don Yang really seems to have taken all of the neo-noir elements of Batman Beyond in a great way. Like, I think the show looks way better. And if you had not told me it was the same studio, I would have thought it was maybe somebody else. But this episode, where I really noticed the inconsistency was the mushiness of ink. Like the viscosity never really seemed to be consistent. Like she was either like gelatin and kind of like wiggling around, or she was like potatoes. Like it was like, I don't understand how this works.
I mean, I guess that was kind of part of her. She was the potatoes he was eating at the end of the episode.
Subtitle. She was like ... potatoes.
Yeah. Well, I think that might have been part of the whole like, oh, she can't quite keep it together. I've never really thought about how many parallels there are in this episode to Mudslide with Clayface. Because
me neither.
You have the like, oh, I really love you so much, I'm going to help you side character. That lady didn't want to be Clayface or whatever. Like that's the main difference. But we also have the ending with the villain being destroyed by water in some fashion. We have
destroyed.
Well, yeah, exactly. Not nearly as like final seeming as Clayface was falling into the ocean or whatever. But and then I hope this was on purpose. It might not have been, but either way, it's a kind of a nice symmetry or whatever. Is in Mudslide, Clayface like puts Batman inside of him, and there's the like famous like shot of lightning flashing and Batman's head coming out of shape and stuff. And in this,
and then the lightning flashes again, and it's Killer Croc.
Right, exactly. Because he's always dressed as Killer Croc underneath his Batman costume. But he's up there. He's holding his Killer Croc head. But she does that to Batman in this, and then. In a twist, Batman didn't have rocket boots back in Mudslide. Now he does, and just shit, ow, fuck.
Is it? I'm trying because no, that might be a spoiler. Never mind. But I think what's really interesting, like I hadn't thought about that Mudslide comparison. I mean, all we're really missing is like the condom that
just try to press
Clayface
her back
gets molded into.
Yeah. But
right?
I mean,
Aaron would have preferred that, but
that was kind of something I questioned about this, though. Was Batman says, "God damn it, I missed what you said." Now it filled in my brain, much like the condom. When what was I gonna say? Shit, it's gone now. Bruce is like, didn't you think about why didn't she just turn into a lady and walk out of there? I'm like, have you seen her when she's in lady form? She's still like blue and mostly ink looking. Like, I don't think she could have just done that. Are you ink? No, I'm just a blue liquid woman. Okay, come on out. Yeah.
Blue science lady coming through.
Yeah, she's releasing the hostages. One of them looks exactly like her. Yeah. So, whatever, Bruce. Yeah, I did like that aspect that he's like being smarty pants to Terry, kind of like, oh, really? You didn't think of this thing? I already did this thing. I'm Batman, idiot. Kind of leading up to...
But it shows you Terry is developing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I would say early on, he's kind of like the gun that Bruce kind of just aims at things.
Speaking of, I love him. Brian didn't remember that was the Mr. Freeze gun. And he's just like, take this. And he's like, a gun? Like, why do you need that? Yeah.
Like Bruce really rolled back his concern about guns and killing people.
One day you're going to tell me why you really quit being Batman. Yeah, at a certain point, I just kind of gave up. He'd take a gun with you.
Well, okay. I just thought of the stupidest thing, but we know Bruce has the mech armor, right?
Yeah.
The Batman Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, James. There's a Mr. Freeze suit in the Batcave.
Yeah, I think so. At least the helmet.
Now, obviously, we know Mr. Freeze at some point he turned into a Spider-Man body, right?
Yeah. He got bitten by a radioactive spider, Peter Parker. We all know the story. Yeah.
I prefer to think of it as a radioactive pig who bit a radioactive spider.
Yes, of course.
That's Spider-Ham's origin story. Yeah. Fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, I remember now. Could Bruce, in theory, wear a just don't turn on the freezing thing, because then he's like sealed from the outside world, right? Like we know Terry's concerned is like Ink's going to get into the Batcave and whatever. Like, why doesn't Bruce just wear like the Mr. Freeze suit? Because then he's like completely protected. Maybe doesn't, because obviously the Mr. Freeze suit would have an independent power source.
I don't know if that Mr. Freeze suit actually has like room for a person.
Leg holes?
Yeah, or if it's just like a robot that the spider went into.
Headless robot that looks like a Mr. Freeze costume.
Yeah. I think that's
It's like a
more
Pinky
accurate.
and the Brain robot.
Bruce
Yeah.
didn't know
Right?
that or didn't remember that. He goes like, "Oh, I'll just get in this," and then he starts getting in the top, and he can only get like his feet in the neck. You're like, "Oh shit, hang on, I didn't think this through."
That's true.
Terry's like, "Even I knew that. I've been Batman for 6 months."
Because this is not an episode I revisit a ton,
Mm-hmm.
but and thankfully for us music lovers, I know Jordan's going to talk about this. I always wanted that particular new metal version of the BTAS theme
Yeah.
as like a music track on my phone. And because the soundtrack as we're recording is slowly coming out, we can now have that. But I had misremembered. I thought he was given like Mr. Freeze batarangs, not electric ones. And I thought he got more than one. Like it seems like if you're making one,
Yeah.
like Bruce, come on. We know how many of these things you've made. Like you're just gonna. He's like, I 3D printed you one.
And that was something that I had in Trivs was that Bruce gives Terry an electrical charged batarang and indicates it's the best defensive device against ink that he can construct on short notice. However, Terry had previously employed that type of batarang in Blackout, meaning he had such gadgetry in his suit's cache already.
Oh, what?
So, I invented this cool thing that you already have. Take it with you. Make sure. Yeah.
Did you want to do Trivs while we're doing Trivs?
No, we're not doing Trivs right now. We have a structure.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Why did you think of this episode, Brian? Who is this podcast is for?
Why did you think of this?
Why did you
episode?
think of this episode?
I was just in a mood to conceive of things, and this episode is what came out. It's
When
not
you
my
were
best
writing this
work.
episode, Stan Berkowitz, right here with us.
I thought it was a fine episode. I don't really have any complaints about it. If that's what you're asking.
No, I'm well. What did you think of it as like a sequel to Blackout? Like, how does it hold up against that? If you can remember,
I don't think it was as engaging.
Yeah.
I feel like the bit that I was most like emotionally tied to was like the part where Bruce comes in and he's like, "Hey, I gave up on this mech, this Bat
Mech. Is that what you're trying?
Bat
Yeah.
mech suit?
Bat mech suit."
Mech.
Wow. Might have just had a stroke there. Hold on. And he's like, I couldn't do it because of my heart. And then when he, shows up, it's like, oh no, well, this is kind of a bad situation. And
Yeah,
then he's
even
in the,
Terry's
in the
like, no,
yeah, he's in like in the bat mech. I had that moment of like, oh no, like, okay, this is maybe gonna help him survive, but also this might kill him. What's that gonna mean? So like, I feel like I had like a bit of an emotional investment at that point in time.
Yeah.
But I don't think the episode caught me as much as the original did. Sequels rarely do.
Right.
Anyway. But it wasn't really like I don't think it was quite as engaging.
No, yeah. I mean, I liked it. I don't have many complaints about it. It's Batman Beyond. It's just automatically cooler and good.
It was good. And there was some really cool, and I think there was a lot of stuff that like caught me, us, and like creepy AA Ron. Like at the start, we're just kind of like, oh, this is only gonna go poorly, and then sure enough, it does.
I think I had that comment when they're like pretend making out in the alleyway, so the cop goes away. And she's like, don't touch me like that ever again, and throws him on the ground. And I said like, oh, poor guy. And then immediately I said, well, he's really creepy. So, and you're like, yeah, I don't feel so bad. It's fine.
I think he actually really does go against type, specifically in the Batman universe. Like AA Ron could be like, he's the stand-in for what you would assume becomes a villain. Like think of many jilted, like butthurt guys. Like you guys talked about Spellbound a couple weeks ago, right? And like Mad Hatter in the BTAS world's like, well, I wanted to be with this woman named Alice, and she said no, and now I'm a criminal. Like it's just you're like, dude, there's plenty of fish in the sea, dude. Like
meter.
Relax. Yeah, exactly. Right? So it's like, what does it say about AA Ron that he's in love with a woman who's not, I mean, biologically speaking, she's like goo. But also,
yeah, what's he gonna get out of that?
they
I wonder.
it's just like that. I think it's actually really interesting that the comeuppance is, oh, you thought this relationship you had was so great.
Yeah.
Now it's flipped, and now you're getting the potato mush from Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
That's the subtitle.
I was going to say, yeah, that's
Getting the
way
potato
better.
mush from Kathy Bates.
Or just the potato mush from Kathy Bates. Yeah. I don't know how long I can make the title at this point. It's so many pieces of potatoes. Well, and you bring up a good point of, it seems like a villain origin story, but then it's just has such a like petered off ending to it where like he's just it's like a SpongeBob or like I don't know just the way the episode ends on just kind of a like burp, 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 this lady like it might as well have done like a Iris out or
Tiny
whatever
Toons.
like yeah a little bit.
I see what you're saying, but I also think that it was kind of I don't know like I was expecting him to become like Inque Part 2.
Yeah.
And it was I think nice that it did the more like Akira thing. We're just like, oh, you're useless.
But that's kind of what I was hoping for. Like, obviously, I knew what he was going to look like, but I feel like he could have looked grosser or like more horrifying. Because like when Bruce is like, hello,
Just a
and then there's
skin color
man.
goo.
Yeah, well, there's just like a man on the ground, and like obviously it's because she only gave him half or whatever she said. But it's like I don't know. I think I've seen grosser designs already in Superman or this show or whatever, where like. Bruce, oh shit, there's a fucking melting man. And like, if that guy was real and he looked like that, you would still go, oh my fucking God, like this is horrifying. What happened to you? What like Cronenberg shit is going on? But it could have been Cronenbergier, I think. And that was the Cronenberg scale.
Okay, maybe that's a
All right, this is Brian, this is for you. I think James would have preferred if she looked like Lady Cassandra from Doctor Who. Do you remember Lady Cassandra? She's like the skin mat with eyes.
What doctor was that?
Tennant. It's in his first season. Or it might be Capaldi. Eccleston's first season.
I'll look it up.
I want to see it too. Man.
She's literally like a sheet of skin with lips and a mouth.
Oh, gross. Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Ew.
I do remember this. How could you not?
No, I don't want that. Although that would have been pretty gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she has
like a puddle on the
out.
Bruce steps in him.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah,
Bruce
exactly.
steps in him and he's like, oh.
It's stuck to his shoe.
Like,
His bat mech shoe the rest of the time.
Yep.
Man, I gotta rewatch that series.
Let me tell you the cast of the episode.
Oh, let's do the cast.
It's Will Friedle as Terry McGinnis / Batman. Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne. Shannon Kenny as Inque.
It should say Batman. It should say Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, for like 5 seconds. Yeah. William H. Macy as Aaron Herbst, Aaron.
No kidding.
Yeah. He was previously director in Where There's Smoke, the small Professor X that's eating ice cream and root beer floats and stuff. Kevin Michael Richardson as Mr. Chandler, the guy who fires him. He was previously Cop in Fun and Games, Al in Tools of the Trade, Mutant Leader, my pointy nipples in Legends of the Dark Knight. That's his famous line. And Security Chief in Blackout. So he's in both the Inque episodes so far.
Attaboy.
Miriam Flynn as TV newscaster, AI woman. Previously Zaftig Lady in Mean Seasons. You remember we looked this up? That meant fat, basically, and they didn't want to put that in the credits, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Kimmy Robertson as Margot, the lady at the end. She was previously Alice in Mad as a Hatter, which we just brought up. Kyle just brought that up. Barry Denon as Captain.
Wait,
the police, I assume.
Was there anything else that...
Kimmy Robertson?
What was... Yeah.
I don't know. Probably. But I just wrote down the thing that she was on this show previously, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's fair.
Okay. That's what I do. Barry Denon is Captain. He was previously Shadow Agent in Off Balance. I'm fighting Batman at the top of the Statue of Liberty, and then I gassed myself. Goodbye.
Good times.
And then finally we have Victor Raider Wexler. It's a hyphen. As Guard. I guess... Oh, probably the guy like, Ink's escaped. Ink.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He was Stan in 9 episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond. He voiced Saruman in the Lord of the Rings War of the Ring video game in 2003. It's kind of cool. He played Dr. Dussel in 1 episode of Lois and Clark. Dr. Neerg in 1 episode of Legion of Superheroes. Dr. Wexler in 4 episodes of Seinfeld, based on his own last name. Dr. Bender in 1 episode of Boston Legal, Dr. Isley in Power Play, Dr. Norwood in 1 episode of Judging Amy, Dr. Meltzer in 1 episode of Three Sisters, Dr. Studwell in 1 episode of Buddy Farrow, Dr. Gennady Volgodnikov in Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine video game, Dr. Hopkins in The Story of Us, Dr. Ryan in 1 episode of Love and War, Dr. Cohen in 1 episode of Murder 1, Dr. Robert Winston in 1 episode of Monsters, Doctor in 1 episode of The Michael Richards Show, Doctor in 1 episode of The Larry Sanders Show, and The Doctor in 1 episode of Friends. Oh, he was also vascular doctor in one episode of ER, Judge Cartwright in 3 Blind Saints, Judge Winter in one episode of House, Judge Kolish in 2 episodes of NYPD Blue, Judge Wills in 1 episode of Living Single, Judge B. Duff in Dr. Dolittle 2, Judge in Death of a Cheerleader, and finally, the Judge in 1 episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Please clap.
You had your finger. I was like, which button is it? Yeah. Oh boy.
That's why. How?
I don't know. He's cast as doctor and judge.
Does the dude just like have a voice that sounds like he's wearing a lab coat?
He's not necessarily a voice. He's playing a man on screen.
Well, does he have a lab coat then?
Yeah, he just shows up to the audition
must
in
now.
a lab coat.
He must. That has to be
He
some
bursts
kind of
through the
Guinness.
door and says, "Scalpel."
Yeah.
I'm auditioning for the part of the doctor. Yeah, I don't know. He's just a guy. He likes doing that kind of stuff.
That's
okay?
insane, but he has to have some kind of Guinness World Record for like the most doctor.
Yeah. Whenever I see that sort of thing, like taxi driver, cabbie, and this thing, like I'll just list them out.
But did you count?
No, I'll do it right now while Kyle has something to say.
I think what I like most about this episode is we get to see more of Terry's development. I know there's been a lot of connections, and I've brought them up. I know Jordan's brought them up. Like Brian, I'm sure you've noticed kind of the symmetry between Peter Parker and obviously being Spider-Man, where this is the most focus we've ever had on an actual teenager being the literally titular hero. And even though we don't necessarily need to see his high school all the time, like Terry is, what is he canonically in this, 15?
17, yeah. Also the number of doctors that man played.
17?
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Wow, that was the
was a
best
weird timing,
segue.
yeah.
That was the best segue ever. Holy shit.
Kyle didn't even know he was leading into it.
Wow, you guys.
No, I
look
didn't.
at this. Look at you two.
Wow.
My God.
Wait, no one said adjacent. Say adjacent.
Adjacent.
I get
That is very piercing. You need to turn that down.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree.
Like,
Continue
Brian,
with
how do
your
you
thought.
feel about that? Because I know I brought it up with Never Fear, where one of the things that they obviously skipped by was we didn't get to see Little Dick as Robin ever, right? We got to see him mad at Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. But like the teenage superhero element
Learning
and
how
college
to be
Dick
Robin and stuff. Yeah, he's
learning
just,
how to be Robin, like a lot of, yeah. And when Tim Drake shows up in Old Wounds, or not in Old Wounds, well, obviously he's in Holiday Nights, but all of his stuff, he's like, he falls off a bus and like, I'm Robin. Like he sort of just figures it out. Like the development of, yeah.
He didn't steal the suit or
Whoa.
anything. He just fell off a bus and said, I'm Robin. Batman's like, shit, I guess you're Robin now.
That's all you have to do to audition
Like,
for a
Brian,
part.
do you notice that stuff? Fall off a bus.
Not right.
Brian, do you notice children falling off buses?
Yes, I make sure it happens.
I laugh and point.
I kick them off the bus.
He does live in Big Bus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I live here.
I need to find the place with the biggest buses to push children off.
I think the thing for me, again, still, I think being a bit of an outsider, like I don't really like. I'm not focusing on like I think the bigger pictures, the bigger backstories. Oftentimes, with like, okay, well, this is his development. This is Terry's development. This is him coming into his own as this person. He's making his decisions on this point, and then like this episode was a big broad stroke of him missing several things, and Bruce being like, well, yeah, I'm here to hold your hand, kiddo. But I think it does just like it's something that we haven't really gotten in the past, and I do think that brings some merit to it. It's cool to see it like in hindsight, but it's not something I'm necessarily catching.
Well,
Like,
I don't know
at
if
the
you were
moment.
like necessarily hoping for it either, but I think you've been enjoying seeing Terry be kind of bumbling like
Yeah.
from time to time, like because when we're watching Batman or Superman, like adults, I've been doing this for years, and they do something like so like stupid, and we're just like,
Yeah.
why would you allow that to happen or whatever? Obviously, for the plot of the episode, like something's got to go wrong or whatever. But in this, if old Bruce Wayne here was Batman still, like he would still be doing it's just his body that doesn't allow him to do it anymore. His brain's still super sharp. He's 6 steps ahead of Terry on everything. And he's just, other than in Spellbound, when he's just like, just go outside. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I do like that Terry is like having trouble still and doesn't really know what to do. And so it's more,
it's realistic.
Yeah,
right?
it's more understandable when he can't do a thing where it's like, oh yeah, because this is a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Like the running joke for the first 65 episodes was going like Batman's origin story, and Batman Beyond literally starts with Batman Beyond's origin story.
Yeah.
Right? Like we are starting at square one, and I think it's fun to see that progress. And like, it'll be an interesting thing to maybe, like, I know you guys were talking about seeing stuff as it happens or revisiting, but like Terry's story is like, we're not really missing Terry's adventures. Where like BTAS feels like pieces of Bruce's narrative, where it's like, we've probably seen everything Terry's done. And there's a reason he's single and Dana hates him.
Well, and even when you have like a normal Batman, Bruce Wayne Batman comic or movie or animated movie or something about like Batman Year One or Batman Begins or something like that, where it's always usually like, oh, this is his first year as Batman. This is somewhere in the first year as Batman. And even he is doing like there's the famous Batman Year One scene where he confronts a whole like table of mob bosses, and he like puts all the lights out, says some scary shit, turns fire on. They're all like, oh my God, what the hell is this guy? And then there's a comic like years and years later where he reveals like, I was peeing my pants while that was happening because I was so fucking like, can I do this? Is this going to work? And all this stuff. And so like getting to see Terry pee his pants every episode is pretty cool. You know,
I love seeing him pee his pants every episode.
Exactly. And pushing him off a bus and stuff. It's great. Let's do some trips here. Oh, he's got the thing. Yeah. Batman Year One, where he's doing exactly what I was describing. But even with Batman Year One, it's like, oh, it's still year one and he's still doing that. We're literally 6 months into Terry being Batman and he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I can barely fly in this thing or whatever. Tribs. The design of Bruce Wayne's exosuit in the show bears a strong resemblance to Batman's mechanized exosuit in the renowned Kingdom Come storyline from 1996. Which was also used by Bruce Wayne during his elder years due to years of overexertion on his body brought on by physical demands of crime fighting. Here's some pictures, Brian. Look, it's the thing from the episode.
I like that we glossed over the fact that, are you okay?
Sorry, you in the back, Kyle? Yes.
I have a triv that I don't know if it's in there because it's technically not connected, but I think it is given the fact that you said that, which is Brian. Kevin Conroy actually did get to play Bruce Wayne in live action in Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths, and he wore the Kingdom Come armor in that episode.
Basically, yeah. He's got like a bunch of weird like robot things on his limbs to help him like walk and stuff because he's like, oh, I'm really old and blah, blah, blah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. One thing about that suit of armor too, is it canon that you like knock on the chest and it strikes a pose?
Whoop-ow,
because that'd be
Batman.
a really easy way to defeat him in that armor. You just kind of like ting ting, and he's like fuck, and he just hands up.
I have to do the YMCA
T-poses
now.
automatically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he goes back to his default pose, breaks every bone in his arms because he wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't ready. Well, I do wonder he's probably like on stilts in there or something too, because it's like 9 feet tall or whatever.
It's just the battery packs or fill up the foot.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, how tall is Bruce in BTAS? 6'4"?
6'2". Yeah.
Oh, what a shorty.
6'2", and Terry's obviously shorter, so I'd be curious. Like, also Bruce is at a hunch, right? So, like, if he cracks his spine into like how much
Terry's
has he shrunk?
There in the bat suit, like I'm 6'2". Also, it's like, yeah, your ears are 4 feet long. It doesn't count. You're wearing heels. Come on. When Bruce goes to rescue Terry, his outfit is reminiscent of The Shadow. The Shadow comics and radio show heavily influenced the creators of the original Batman comic. Are you familiar with The Shadow?
Nope.
Well, I showed you a picture.
There's
of that
one
guy.
creator of Batman, and then there's Bob Kane.
As I was reading that. We were talking about that earlier too.
Literally today. Which
this is The Shadow. He's got like the scarf over his mouth and everything,
hell yeah.
and the hat. Yeah.
And a very big nose.
Yes.
I thought it was kind of gray ghosty in a way.
It was, yeah. I think it's probably reminiscent of, but Grey Ghost is also just even more The Shadow. The officer wearing the ink coat is shown to be African American in one scene. Then when he's then in the next he's Caucasian. Then he switches back to being African American.
No comment.
Not great.
No comment.
Yeah. Plastisteel is described on its canister as being an industrial sealant, likely meant to be sealant.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's too busy reading plastisteel. Like Terry's doing everything he can to lock up that door, and she never once comes into the Batcave or does anything like that. So then after he's just like unwelding it, like what's he do? Like, but I guess maybe not, because she just leaked into the floor, and so he should still be like, she could still show up here. I'm paranoid about this.
She'll be coming back.
Oh, you think so?
I like that from Terry though, because it seems like, again, there's a history. They're much more continuity focused, like in the S-TAS and Beyond world, where it's like you can timeline out a lot of those episodes, but unless they're specifically referencing things, you in theory could just like iPod shuffle a bunch of BTAS, and
right,
it wouldn't necessarily matter, right? Like Terry is thinking ahead of the time, and I would argue that would be the biggest thing that would terrify Bruce in his era. Like, somebody knows where the Batcave is. Like, the only person we see in there is Roz, right? Outside.
Right,
and I guess, I almost said Nobu.
Roz
Ubu.
from Monsters, Inc. She said, you didn't file your paperwork.
You didn't file your paperwork, Wazowski.
Oh my God.
Actually pretty good.
Beautiful.
Please clap.
I just did.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Actually, I think that
Adjacent.
might be the same ding from like fucking
CinemaSins?
CinemaSins, exactly. Yeah, everything wrong with this movie. Chong. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, like Ra's al Ghul being in there. I don't know anyone. I guess
That secret's gonna slip soon.
Yeah,
like
somebody
too many
knows.
people
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean, Ink could just be like a puddle on the ground and be like, Bruce Wayne is Batman and now somebody else is Batman and they live at this place. Go get him.
Well,
But Bruce's identity has leaked already. You've watched the episode in BTAS.
the Hugo Strange one.
Yeah, they said it, but like no one believed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of continuity, like this episode just kind of assumes you've seen the other Ink episode, both to know who Ink is and why that's important or scary or whatever, but also just she says like, oh, I'm not only going to take out Batman, I'm going to take out the old guy. I was like, how do you even know about that guy? Oh, well, I guess because they said she's been in the Batcave, but they don't like expositorily tell you like, remember, Ink was in here and saw your face and stuff.
Thinking about that,
unless
though,
they did do that and I just forgot.
No, they didn't do that, but I don't think you really need it. Like you start off with like this dude, like an obsessive dude with some baddie frozen, and you'll learn that she's a baddie soon enough. You get an idea of like her character and everything. Get out of here. But like I don't think, like the old guy, you're just going to assume that it's Bruce.
Well, yeah, but I just mean like, why would she know he exists or whatever, unless they tell you that? But I'm glad
I think that's
they
what the
don't,
point of
'cause,
Terry putting up the wall is. Like Terry putting up the wall, that's the exposition. Like she's been here before. And he's like, it was dark.
Well, and you're talking about when you're saying like the timeline videos and stuff that we've done before, it's like, yeah, you could mostly put the B-test on shuffle. I was talking to Dan about this I had a call with him to just, I had a call with him to just like go over stuff for a bunch of upcoming videos. And one of them was like, basically asking him about his own personal like B-test watch order or whatever, because there's so many different orders you could go in controversially. And like there are still toward the latter third or so of B-test, there's still like a bunch of, there's this episode, this villain that already had their origin episode is getting like a kind of wrap up episode, Riddler's Reform and what was the Two-Face one? Jesus Christ.
Two-Face again, part dose.
No. Second Chance and all these other ones.
I was trying to reach the
Reach for
DVDs,
that
but they're
one,
too far.
No, I got it. But we're like, obviously you can't watch those ones before, Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face or the Riddler's origin episode and that kind of stuff. But even when I'm a kid, I'm watching most of these out of order because they're just airing as like reruns and stuff like that on whatever channel. So I'm not ever confused. Like, wait, but who's the Riddler? I don't understand. It's like, it's the Riddler.
They give you enough of an exposition dump or enough.
Yeah. The Riddler's back. We got to go. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Well, like the production order is like, it was 65 and then 20.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I feel like that back 20 is a lot of the kids will know.
Yeah. They've been watching
don't
this for a
have
couple of years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few more trips here. After Aaron gets fired from Gotham Cryogenics and
sorry,
is on
who?
Aaron.
Thank you.
Well, I was about to do it. On the roof, cutting the power to Ink's cryocell, there are two 319 cryocells. One is supposed to be 313, but the way it was drawn, the 3 came out as a 9.
Wow.
Piss Brian.
Well,
the
319
fuck
is from Monsters, Inc. We've got a 319.
2319. Oh my God. Yeah, it's Roz.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, Bruce looks at Ink and says, poor deluded
Always watch.
fool. He says, poor deluded fool. He could also be saying diluted, which means to add water to liquid to weaken.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I got a dad joke. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, I do.
No, I don't.
Oh, say it anyway.
Oh, well. Well, you know what? The two dads outnumber the no
overrule
dad. Yeah. Okay. What did the green grape say to the purple grape?
I don't know.
Breathe, you idiot.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh man, so good. I want to push a kid off a bus. Bruce gives. Oh, and the last one is the electric batarang thing that I already said. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Keen effects. Rocket boots in the thing. Smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I want you to say it better still.
Rocket boots in the thing in ink smoke.
Okay.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about. I said it
Inque.
already. Inque.
I like the melt. The melting's not bad.
yeah,
I think the melting at the very end's pretty good.
And the raindrops hitting her and stuff. Yeah.
I like the trickery of Inque just being in Terry's silhouette. Like that's pretty. Like it's like monster movie kind of scare for Bruce.
Yeah.
When she's standing in
it was
the doorway.
a little bit of a cheat, I think, because even in the first Inque episode, when she's in Derek Powers' office, she's like disguised as one of his weird like abstract art statues for a second, but she's still like highlighted blue. And then when she's Batman, she's got the gray highlights. She just looks like Batman. And it's like, I don't think you can do that. And also wouldn't Bruce be like, Terry, where the fuck is your bat signal? This can't be you. But obviously it's, it works. It works in the moment. And it's just a little nitpicky of me. I'm known to be doing that, I think. So
that's kind of your career, my dude.
Why is your bat suit yellow? What's going on? She can do yellow for some reason.
We did talk about the animation in this episode kind of being below it's below par.
It's still good, but
beyond so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the breaking through is really good. I like the mushiness of Aaron. Like, again, him feeling as if he is not Ink. I think they do a good job of kind of separating like her capabilities, and then he's like mushy, bony boy.
Yeah,
I like the difference in that.
He's weirder.
Yeah,
goofier.
he's a baby seal.
Well, and I was just thinking like, of the subtitle for this when we had like Tiger, Tiger, or Twiger. It's pronounced Twiger the second time. We have Aaron and Inque, but they're spelled correctly, and then in parentheses within the parentheses, they're pronounced Aaron and Inque. Yeah, that's too much.
That's too much.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too much. I did like when
Nothing
she's
too flashy.
coming in through the window, and for whatever reason, she's just like dripping like water onto the ground. But then in the next shot, when she fully comes through the window, I thought maybe that was her way of knocking on the window, like to alert him she's there, like come open the window so I can get in. But then she squeezes through anyway, and then does not absorb the weird black puddle she was dripping before. So she just left a puddle there. I don't know.
Yeah, we're like,
to find later.
it's interesting because I know I sent it in my mail where she doesn't seem to function the same as like Clayface, where we know he's like, he can be multiple children, or he can be,
she can't just be
Anime Annie, right?
Yeah, Little girl lost.
Or because Bruce has a piece of her in the Batcave.
Yeah. Which that was a little bit weird too, because the first Ink episode, I don't remember how he got a hold of the piece of ink. Maybe it was also on Batman or something. He was left behind on something. And it was like this cool plot point of like, oh, he's going to study it. And then this one is like, also, I have a piece. It was on you. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
or whatever.
She's like, hey, I got a little piece of plot here.
What did he use that for? Did he ever? He said, "I'll be at the microscope." Did he? Oh, it's because he found out that she was deteriorating or whatever.
Yeah,
but
she
then
can't human without whatever.
Yeah.
Injecting plot.
She can't look hot anymore. Do you see how hot she looks, Terry? Didn't you think that she would have just turned hot and walked out of there? Bruce, you're really kind of starting to scare me a little bit. You're focusing on this a little too much. It's time for Jordan Blumen's Musical Minute.
Wow. Keen.
Hey, music.
I just somehow knew you were going to say that. Wow, keen. He says, Inque Part 2, the second one with Inque. This is a terrible take, but I used it anyway.
Now over to the musical moment. The second Inc episode.
Yes.
The one with the thing. Shit. Oh, Jamie just sent me a text that said, get me these 4 episodes by Saturday and I won't have to kill you. All right, Jamie. So I love the way that the vocals are used during the... Oh, James clarifies he wasn't going to kill me anyway. Okay, that's nice. Love the way the vocals are used during the beginning of the third act fight in Disappearing Inc. It feels a little bit like... John Williams, the way he uses trumpets sometimes as like accents instead of as the main melody for something. Like he'll do that during like kind of action breaks during, various tracks in Star Wars and stuff like that. People are going to think I only listen to John Williams because I've now made 2 John Williams references in 2 consecutive weeks.
You can.
He does love French horns.
Do I have to even mention how insanely fucking badass it is that the Batman theme comes back?
There
They do the theme. They do the BTAS Batman theme, but with a rock groove behind it. That's all I need to say about this episode. It's insanely cool. I every time I get to that point in this episode, I rewind it like 4 times to listen to the theme and have Bruce back in a bat suit. That's insanely cool. Never apologize for loving your fandom and try to stay optimistic.
That wasn't a terrible take.
I do want to actually hear. You said it's on like there's a soundtrack somewhere that we can like listen to it because similarly, I guess in the room when we're watching it together, we can like pause and rewind. But normally it's just like, oh, hands off. We are synced on our videos.
Yeah.
We're just gonna watch the thing.
Well, and it's cool that they still keep that around because like even back in BTS, the opening theme song was still the Danny Elfman like movie theme song, but Shirley Walker's like, I'm also putting in one that I wrote that I'm going to just use more and more, and then your brain will associate that as the Batman theme instead. And then now they don't have to do anything related to those movies whatsoever. So it's just like, yeah, use that theme because that's the Batman themes, Mask of the Phantasm, Adventures of Batman and Robin, all that stuff.
Obviously.
Yeah.
For our audio lovers like Jordan, it is called Ink Melt Mac Attack. That's what the track is called.
Right now.
Ink Melt Mac Attack?
Yeah.
That's the best title ever.
Yeah,
Ink Melt Mac
It's on
Attack.
volume 1 of
I
the
got
Batman Beyond soundtrack.
The guitars, yeah.
But it's also got like the elements of Phantasm, right? Because the like opera singers are in Phantasm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Like, it's the best. No!
Yeah, the in the background still on the drum set and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Oh, it's so good.
Are we going to play that and demonetize the episode?
No,
or what?
like change the key of it or something.
You can't blame me for Brian's rent for this one.
No, there's the same like flip the image, change the key slightly, of like pitch it up slightly that you could do on YouTube in 2005 still works. A little
Wow,
information for you there, listener. Where's Clayface? It's Ink.
No, it's Aaron's food at the end of the episode.
Oh, no! He's being fed Ink, or being fed Clayface.
Yeah.
Oh no, that sucks, man. Why would you suggest that?
I'd like to think it's Ink. Except for then she gets rained on and he gets
She's the same, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's just Aaron.
He's the crowbar that he uses.
He's the
to break
crowbar.
into
That explains the crowbar.
It can change size. Yeah. It explains why it can change sizes. Yeah. He sneaks up to the thing. Okay, Clayface, are you ready? And a little face pops onto the crowbar. Yes, let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, I can do anything.
Sounds like a TikTok.
Also, that electrical panel wasn't locked.
No, he could have just
No, it
opened
wasn't.
He could have just opened it. He's like,
or being guarded by anyone. Yeah.
he just needed he needed Clayface to feel useful. And
How did he get on the top of the truck?
How did he get on top of the truck? How did he get on top of the truck? He
walked behind it, and 1 second
behind
later,
this like 2-story van, and then he's just on top of the truck, and then he gets
there's
on the
a ladder
ladder
on the other side of the
which
truck
is
that we
fine.
couldn't see.
But how does he get on the fucking truck?
He stepped on the kid who fell off the bus that went
There's a
by.
pile of children on the other side of the car.
And just me inside giggling.
Yeah. Oh, you just aided and abetted Aaron Herbst getting back into the cryogenics lab.
It's fine. It's for true love.
Yeah, that's true. So true.
How William H. Macy is Aaron. Like after watching Shameless, they're the same person in my head.
Oh,
It is
my
weird how
God.
they keep getting him back for just kind of random roles too,
Yeah.
like of all people. But
He's
all
great.
right, time for Batman's usefulness.
What did Batman do? Did he get a 10 or only a 2? I really gotta know, tell me now. What is Batman's usefulness? Now.
Yeah, best part of the podcast.
Best part of the podcast. God damn it.
It's so good. Like I feel lucky to have original music on Film Realist. Like it's my buddy's band.
What happened?
Well, that's just Mickey Mouse.
I know. What happened?
What happened? Batman's usefulness in this one. Well, okay, here's technicalities again. Are we talking about Bruce? Are we talking about
I
Terry?
guess it
Or
kind
they?
of applies to both of them this time. Yeah,
Batman,
yeah.
just in brackets, Batman. So your call.
Well, because we had we debated Clark as Batman in nighttime, and then Bruce's uselessness because he was just Bruce.
I'm gonna. Well, I think for this one especially because we talked about even in Rebirth of like, because there's the Bruce Wayne's usefulness option too, and it was like I think we'll just go with Batman for Batman, like whatever whoever Batman is in the given show, that's Batman. But in this episode, there's 2 of them. So
I'm gonna only rate Bruce's usefulness just for nostalgia's sake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, really good. Even though he's old man that shouldn't have put the suit on again, he did it.
Yeah.
And he helped out, and he was a bunch of steps ahead of Terry the whole time. I already printed that shit out for you, idiot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give, even though that's Bruce, not Bat Bruce.
Oh, okay, all right.
But in the moment that he was Bat Bruce, still for like his heart and getting the damn thing done, and like putting in some work, I'm gonna give him 6 Ice Cube kisses out of 10.
Okay. I'll give him.
Well, who are you rating? Which Batman?
I'm rating the same thing. Bruce in the bat suit for the 30 seconds he was. I'll give him like 7.6. Electric batterings that you already had out of 10. Forgot about
Kyle.
When Brian said I give him this many ice cubes, I wanted somebody to be like straight out of Gotham, and then just bring it to crazy motherfucker named Inque.
There you go.
I mean, my brain went to shared Batman-ness because Terry is kind of useless in this episode. Thankfully, Bruce is Batman, and obviously, his object is to free Terry. So, like, looking at it strictly on what he wanted to do, he did do that. Because Terry is then freed, and then they do get rid of Inque, right? Because his fight with, I guess, is that Aaron? Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, elements in the mix there of why they succeeded at the end. And we're like, Terry wouldn't have gotten loose from the arena thing if Aaron hadn't fucked with Inque in not the way he wanted to.
Don't say that word again.
Inque?
Aaron?
Oh,
Inque.
Either one. Yeah. Sorry, not fucked, but all the.
Don't say fuck more, but.
Kyle.
I'm going to go with 6.5 cream sodas that Aaron wanted to drink.
She was just collecting all the different flavors of Mountain Dew in her bag there.
Also,
there's a Baja
bluish,
Blast in
there is
there
a
for
bluish
sure.
one,
Go
yeah,
back.
yeah.
There's
She just got the code red at the. I think I have all I need.
Can we I don't know about
honestly that when I inject myself with Mountain Dew, I have the same reaction. Oh yes, I can be a woman again.
The fuck. This is something that it did kind of catch me off guard because she's like, okay, inject the thing. Oh, I'm kind of woman, but it's not enough.
Yeah. See,
Baja Blast for sure.
And what's the other blue one? The raspberry one? I can't remember.
It's crystal. Oh, it's crystal.
Blue
Pepsi.
raspberry.
Crystal meth. Yeah. There you
Ooh, that's a reference.
But my thought is that she injects some of the stuff and it does okay, but it doesn't do enough, and then he pours the rest down her throat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
is this like an emulsification thing? Is there a digestive and vascular tract in
knows,
place?
man?
Because I feel like you shouldn't be able to get some immunization. You get a shot to something. If you
don't drink your flu shot? Are we not supposed to do that?
You don't drink the polio.
Not in America.
The polio.
You don't drink the polio. Another sometime. You're not supposed to. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But you make a good point. I think it's just it's absorbing into her, much like any liquid and liquid touching or whatever. So I don't know.
Well, I think evaluating her biology on a human level, obviously
impossible.
that wouldn't work. You drink we drink Mountain Dew Code Red. I wouldn't want to inject that into my body.
Who's this we? Brian's not included. Yeah.
No.
I do prefer the darker blue one, and I can't remember what it's called because I'm stupid. Volt?
You have a phone in your hand. Look
voltage. It's voltage.
Yeah, it is voltage.
It's voltage.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
They also did have a white one called something. It's called Freedom Fusion.
Ew.
Oh.
All right. This is time for Thoughts of the Week with Dylan Pollock.
Coming up next, it's another guest appearance from our favorite visiting superhero.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Now, I want to apologize for putting favorite visiting superhero while Kyle's here with us, but you just have to listen to him say that. Disappearing Inc., Dylan Pollock, here it is.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week with Tom Pollock on Disappearing Inc., or the rewards of becoming flubber. How'd they get William H. Macy for this? James, do you know? Shut up. Nobody wants to hear. Anyway, moving on. This is just like when I got fired from my job guarding Walt Disney's Frozen head. Also, why does the dude react like he had no idea he was wearing ink as a jacket when they're trying to get the hostages out? He never noticed a sudden coat around his body? It was just a weird reaction to me. Also, can we talk about in this episode, Aaron comes closer to being Batman than Ink does, which is kind of nuts. Also, it feels like that moment where Terry is tied to the pole, he kind of just forgets that he can fly. Just fly up the pole. Just fly up. Also, Exosuit Bruce rules. I like the ending being he's in the same situation Ink was, but we neglect that he can still talk. And why is the greatest punishment having to hear someone else talk about their life? Anyway, I was at the store earlier, and I felt like I was picking up soup, but I also wanted to pick up lettuce. Anyway, now it's time for the question. James' favorite part. What's your favorite hors d'oeuvres? I didn't have any question related to this episode. Okay, I love you.
I like those little bacon wrapped dates or whatever. Those are pretty good. It's pretty good. Do you like dates without bacon, you vegetarian heathen?
Ooh. Dates, pecans, and a little bit of coarse salt is a very, very good vegan snack. By the way,
it sounds tasty.
But I always love the little kind of pastry cheesy cup things you can get.
Little mini quiches.
It's like a mini quiche thing. Yeah. I think that maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Pastry cheese cups.
Yeah, with the eggy things.
Eggy wrinkles.
Eggy wrinkles?
They're called eggy wrinkles. We should make a drink, several drinks from this. I feel like that we could do a recipes book or something from this podcast.
Yes,
an Inque shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of different Mountain Dews mixed together.
Oh, God.
You have to inject it into your veins with a syringe.
No! We do not condone this, listener.
I've got two. I love, what's it called in English? A steamed pork bun, or for my dim sum loving friends, a char siu bao. That's one of my favorite appetizers. Jalapeno poppers. And then Brian and I think I talked about this a while back. I also love my wife. She'll bacon fried chickpeas.
Oh, yeah.
Bake fried chickpeas. So like she'll
Okay.
do like a chili oil on them, so they're like crunchy but have heat. Those are I'll eat those with a spoon.
Cereal, milk.
Just pour the bowl into your face.
Yeah, extend your
She
jaw
mashes
out
them
like
up
cup.
in a tray,
With a cup. Shouldn't do that.
and then I drink the clay face.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Clayface was the children Brian kicked off all the buses.
Aw, that makes me sad too.
Was the episode
Books or hip hop?
Hip
hip
hop.
hop? Yeah, yeah, okay.
It's books.
Okay.
It's a sad romance book.
Yeah, all right, that's true. That's true. Okay, I think this may be the last top 10 that we had, like of the current 10. Am I right about this? I don't know. It might be 9. This is the
it
11th
is.
aired episode, so it becomes 10,
Yeah.
number 10 because Rebirth was 2 episodes. So yeah.
Do you not have it as one though?
No, it is. I just mean it's
It's the
10th
11th
to
aired
be
episode,
added to
yeah.
the list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to make
so
it 10.
Spell Trapper Keeper. Well, I definitely think it was not as good as Blackout, which I have at number 6.
Yeah.
But I do think I liked it better than Spellbound, so it's becoming my new number 7, Disappearing Inque.
I think it's so interesting that you guys, for the most part with Beyond, like there's been very little distinction. Like
Yeah,
Brian
they're really-
hates On Leather Wings with a passion.
Oh, between the two of us, yeah.
But then Superman, your lists aren't dramatically different, but
Well, Brian's thinking, I assume, but Kyle, we can put you. Where are you on this freaking list? There you are. Never Fear in Nighttime is what we got so far. Is that all that you've been on for? Have you not? Is this the
this
third
is the
time?
third time.
Because we've also been on Kyle's podcast.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
No, it's because by the time I joined or jumped on the Bat-Wagon, you guys were done BTAS. So I haven't done a
Yes,
BTAS.
okay.
I've done this is the third. I've been on New Adventures, Superman,
Yeah,
and this is
a
Beyond.
show.
So no,
You
3
have
is right.
Never
Yeah,
Fear at 5 and Nighttime at 7. What number would you like to assign to Disappearing Ink?
10.
10. Okay. Now, we've been pretty harsh on a lot of episodes lately. I think that, like, I don't know, when we're having these discussions about like what was bad about the stuff, it's like we're bad at it. It's the same thing that I have opening Christmas presents where I'm just really bad at showing like appreciation for the thing. Like, and so, well,
Thanks.
No, I don't have that reaction. It's just
It's
kind of
worse?
it's a neutral nothing reaction, and I have to like put on like, and even if it's something really cool, like I'll usually just be kind of like in like looking at it like, holy shit, I can't believe that this was given to me or whatever. But like much like I feel like with these episodes, everything that we've watched has had something that we like, and even if we didn't talk about it, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. We're just like, oh, okay, we're here on the podcast. Time to talk shit about the thing. It's really fun. It's fun to do. So, and I feel like Disappearing Ink, we did kind of spend a lot of time going like, this thing wasn't so great, but there was a lot to like about it. And it was just, if I'm comparing it to everything else that we've watched, it's just how we do stuff.
Yeah.
It's 7, you know?
So for the listener, I also put it at 7.
I see
and
that,
I think it's one of those things where like, I don't know, there's how do you say that?
Inque.
Like, it doesn't it doesn't have to be a top 5 to be a good episode. Right.
Yeah.
Like just because it's 7,
Especially
and
'cause
even if it
there's
gets
so
kicked
many,
off the list,
yeah,
which it
yeah.
will probably eventually, because it's
Sure.
not that great of an episode. It doesn't mean that it's bad or something that's
I don't know. Maybe every Batman Beyond episode from the rest of time you'll think is worse than this one.
that would be bad.
That would
Bad.
suck. Yeah, I don't think that'll
Yeah.
happen.
I think there is a separation though. Like obviously just for fun, I don't know if other listener, I mean, because it's just Dylan and then Sock Puppet accounts.
Yeah, of course.
Do their own lists as the episodes come out. So, because Brian, when I had him on the very first time, he was like, "What's your B-Test top 10?" I was like, "Oh shit!" And then had to like come up with one kind of on the spot. But so that didn't happen. I did them on my own. I think there's kind of still a separation where, and I've talked about this a bunch, I know with you, James, where it's like Superman has the same exact production crew behind it, but there's something about it that where it's just like, it's a show. It's like BTAS it's like the separation between movie and film, where it's like a lot of Superman is like, they're just like fun TBS movies you would watch at 3 p.m. or Peachtree, I think it's called now.
This was on in the hotel when I got here, so I might as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And like BTAS, the irony behind the whole thing is like, it was only made because they're like, we need the kids watching Batman, so make a teenage Batman. And then they make it, and it's so much of it has so much more depth. And you can kind of see the episodes where, similar to some films in other universes, where you're like, oh, the director had a distinct idea, and that idea was maintained through every level of production. Maybe like Thunderbolts. But some of these episodes just kind of feel like more adventures, and that doesn't make them bad. Like, there's been nothing in Beyond that compares to the worst of STAS or the worst of BTAS. Like, Winning Edge was an episode I didn't like, and Heroes was one I remembered just for the Marvelness of it. Like, not
that's all
spectacularness.
It really has going for it is, it's the Fantastic Four, isn't that cool? And if you don't think so, then I guess you don't like this one. Yeah.
Right. So I don't think it's if you're not critical of stuff you love, then it shouldn't really be fair to be critical of things you don't. Yeah. Right. And that's the most fun with the exploration of this Bat-Wagon.
Well, and
which I think should be floating in the thumbnail.
You're right. The hover Bat-Wagon. Yeah. That's why Terry's standing on it weird and not pulling it because he doesn't know how wagons work. They're before his time. He's like, what are these wheels? I don't understand. Is this a fruit roll-up? He says. I think this will be something that we have to more discuss as we're like reaching the end of this podcast or something, kind of comparing like what we thought of each show as like a whole compared to each other kind of a deal. But like so far, at least, it's been like Batman, groundbreaking thing that no one had done. No one had done this sort of style of animation on this budget before and blah, blah, blah. And even though it all had all these like awful episodes sprinkled in, it's still like overall like, good shit. And then Batman Beyond that we're in right now is like, make a teenage Batman. Oh, we found the loophole, and we're going to make this completely original thing that no one's ever done before and make up every character basically and like do whatever the fuck we want. And we're going to make it in Akira, Matrix future and Blade Runner and all this like cool shit that they're doing. And everything's going to be rock and roll and hell yeah. And then Superman's also happening in the middle of that like there hadn't been a Superman show besides like there'd been the Super Friends stuff. There'd been a cartoon in the 80s, but there hadn't been like a definitive Superman cartoon like with Batman. And I think as far as that goes, I think STAS did its job at like, this is the Superman, someone says Superman cartoon, that's the one they're talking about, but it's still just kind of happening. It has some really good highs and then just a bunch of whatever. And of course we have four Superman episodes left, which leads me to it's mail time. I'm going to go to the future, and then we come back and I tell Brian the name of the next episode. It's a Superman episode.
That wasn't as good of a segue as the 17 earlier.
No, it wasn't. Future. Thank you.
Great.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Welcome back to the mail.
Second. Oh, it's mail time? Is that what someone said to me?
No. Wait, did I? I'm very tired. I don't know.
That yacht.
You might have.
Had one small.
Who knows? Does Kimmy know?
No.
We drop
what we drop.
Our weekly yachts.
Oh yeah, those.
Into the comment box.
First.
There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're wrong.
At least I am.
Just Dylan Pollock.
We're all Dylan Pollock on the Buy Me a Coffee website where you can be Dylan Pollock. You can really become him and embody his spirit.
Totally.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
He's pointed me at his penis. I don't know what to do now.
You can't even see it, man.
And that's it's a strange thing to say ever, but not with the context of we're on Zoom for mail. He's pointed me at his penis. What's going on?
You can't even see. You can see like my torso and the corner of my desk. Come on.
I can imagine. I know it.
That's fair. Like. No, when I was looking up, okay, quick aside for mail. I'm so sorry. When I was staying in Mitchell, Oregon, this last
what size of bus do they have there?
The smallest.
Yeah.
Smallest bus. It's a 2-seater bicycle. It's a tandem bicycle. It's a bicycle built for two.
You'll look neat upon the seat, they say.
I stayed at a thing called the Little Pine Lodge, which feel free to Google that. On the wall there is a thing that I had to like Google, like the Google camera translate, because I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. And it is a Soviet officer map bag or Soviet army map case. It's this weird leather bag.
I don't like where this is going.
I became obsessed with this. I was like, the build quality of it and like the orientation, all this stuff. I'm like, this is so cool. I need this, and I need to build it into my like everyday carry.
How much blood was on it?
Not a lot.
Okay.
But
very little as far as I can tell. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to look at it again.
Look at that bag and feel happy instead of being on the podcast and feeling sad.
Listener, if anybody out there wants to buy me a Soviet officer map bag / Soviet army map case / Russian map bag, they run from like $25 to like $100 and something. This one's $300 for some crazy reason. I don't know what I would do, but I'd be so happy just putting that out there.
Okay.
Jamie, Google it. Google Soviet officer map bag. It looks so cool.
The episode is already so long.
I'm so sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry, but just look at it. It's so good.
Soviet what?
Soviet officer map bag.
Oh, this like fold over leather thing?
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, original Soviet officer's bag, map case, pilot, military, used, eBay.
Isn't that
just very nice looking? I don't know
you
what
just
I
want
use
to
it
like
for, but I kind of
go on an adventure.
Yeah.
Put some pencils in it and a notebook and just go on an adventure. Jamie, let's do it.
It's like I was just saying, it's like an Indiana Jones character's bag or something.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
here's the thing.
Cool.
If we get 2 of them, how about this? Then we go on an adventure and we make a YouTube video about it. Just
if you buy us 2 Russian military bags, we will make you spaghetti and we'll serve it in the bags.
I'll make you spaghetti, but you got to come to Big Bus. That's all.
Yeah, it's not quite enough. Well, if you want to buy us those bags or reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, which, by the way, tell me what episode's World's Finest is, Brian. Quiz you on this real quick. Pop quiz.
Okay.
What's World's Finest?
It's the one we did the live show on.
Yeah, but what happens in it?
Jesus Christ, so much.
No, just describe it in a sentence.
It's Superman's origin story, and it starts off with his.
I thought so. You're mistaking. We watched the Batman Superman crossover movie, World's Finest, at the live show.
Yeah.
The last couple episodes, you've like made vague comments that have made me think that you thought that was Last Son of Krypton, and it's not.
Oh my God, you're right. Last Son of Krypton. Yeah. Holy shit.
I want to make sure that you know that it's not that. And every once in a while, I'll just remind you. Anyway, you can send a short-ass email
I'm bad at my job.
60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on today's episode on the Pod Tower YouTube channel or Spotify, but please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian.
Why does my brain do
I went
bad?
to the wrong tab. It was Soviet bag tab still. Anyway, this is mail and comments from last episode of Fish Story or Extra Spicy Walruses. Lockdee, who says, Agent, hey, William H. Macy. William H. Macy, please, we're friends. Call me Bill H. Macy. Okay, Bill H. Macy, I've got a great voice acting gig for you. They're doing a teen Batman show. He's a rough and tumble kid who has girl trouble, says no to drugs, stuff like that. Kids show. Sounds pretty easy. What's the character? Okay, so there's this real sad sack guy and he's got a goop fetish. Excuse me? Yeah, there's a goop woman he wants to fuck and he also wants to be made of goop. And then I guess he wants to like combine his goop with her goop. Not sure how that works. I'm not a scientist. And Batman.
I know how this works.
Yeah. And Teen Batman, he fights the goop fetish people. I think so. Look, if you're not interested, no, I'm interested. I'm definitely interested. Just, tell them I'm in. That's the full conversation. That's like William H. Macy on there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. Slacks Payne says, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm personally a big fan of secret third podcast host, the Ham Beast. This is a ham predator, but So calm down. Quiet back there. Please. We're trying to do a podcast. You have dogs. I have the ham predator. He's still in the tube. Banana Man says gulp. I think because he was underwater, I guess.
Oh, no. Don't gulp the water, Banana Man. Get out of there.
Has he said not okay in the past? He must have.
He has said not okay in the past, but I don't think it's been recently.
That's true.
I can read you the synopsis of World's Finest Parts 1 through 3 if you want.
Because it's on your cheat sheet?
Yeah.
No, that's nice. Yeah, what is it?
Joker steals a statue made of solid kryptonite and comes to Metropolis where he makes a deal with Luthor to kill Superman, but Batman follows him to Metropolis. Yeah, I don't know why I was confusing that with Last Son of Krypton.
Other than a couple times. It's okay.
Other than we're 160 whatever episodes in.
No
and
excuse.
My God, this stuff is getting a little bit fuzzy.
Look, we brought up the spinner thing today on the podcast early on. The spin the wheel and land on a thing to revisit. So just make us watch World's Finest again. Oh no, please don't make us do it. This is from Mega Man, a fish story thoughts. Not very surprised that Brian didn't like the episode, but I'm surprised that James didn't bring up the objectively funniest thing about Golden Age Aquaman. Aquaman was literally just his real name, with his human alias being Adam Waterman.
What?
I did not know this.
Are you shitting
Google
me?
it to make sure that's real, but I believe it. It was the 40s or something, man.
Did you Google or do you need to?
I did not. You want to make sure?
I got you.
Adam Waterman.
Holy shit. Yeah. Adam
My father
Waterman.
injected me, Dr. Waterman injected me with some stuff, and I'm Aquaman.
Holy shit. Who does that?
I don't know, old people. Legacy, Yopton's log number 160.
Gimme.
Yopton's log number 160. Today, my good friend, British Dylan Pollock, the fucking cunt, gave me the signal watch by Lovins that made me come.
Yeah.
To his aid. Shortly after, Steven Seagal used his keen powers of Aikido to fire his green ray at me. A devastating move I heard he taught to Metallo, of nice ass fame. In the face of such power, I made like the Fantastic Few and got sucked through a fan. Oh no. As for what happened next, I'm not sure. Stan Berkowitz broke my TV and suddenly I couldn't hear fucking shit.
Yeah, and you're catching up. You're right there. You're at the
I'm
tail
sorry.
end of this, yeah.
I'm sorry. Fantastic Few. Did we never mention that?
No, we did not, and that's perfect. I'm so
Legacy.
mad, yeah.
Can we have a quick conversation about why you're better at this than me? Quick. Wait. Here, just out loud.
Yeah.
World's Finest. Give me the synopsis.
See, he knows.
Yeah.
God damn it. That sucks. Eric LeBeau, Disappearing Inc., or why are there this many incels in this fucking show?
Bruce revealing he has the armor is really cool, especially with that music, but I feel like it's not nearly as epic as it could have been because Bruce wasn't really the focus of this episode at all. It feels like it should have been saved for an episode where it focuses on Bruce's physical incapabilities, especially because it feels less like a Chekhov's gun here and more like something that got established and pulled out because the plot needed it. It just didn't mesh all with the story is all I'm saying, but it's still pretty cool. The parts where it focuses on Inque are pretty good, so I'd still say it's not a bad watch.
Wrong!
Oh, hey, why are you covered in ham?
Wrong!
You're gonna put yourself in a cage with bears and not leave until we hit the Patreon goal? Okay, I don't even know where to begin to decipher what's wrong there. Look, you don't even have to anyways. We hit the Patreon goal like 2 weeks ago.
Wrong!
Yeah, no, we're good. But listeners should still become a patron if they haven't. It helps support production of the videos. But yeah, keep calming you up on.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I never said that on the podcast, I don't think. I forgot that we hit the 200 Patreon goal for the Teen Titans, the Batman Willet Canon. So thank you, everybody that might be listening to this that is a patron, for your continued support and funding of such a video, because it's going to be a big one. And yeah, go be a patron regardless, or buy me a coffee or whatever you want to do, whichever...
Do you want to let them know what you were doing just before this call that you let me know?
Oh,
or is that a
I was
secret?
interviewing one of the two showrunners of Teen Titans for that video, David Slack. So yeah, woo, we did it. Hooray. It is very
hooray!
exciting.
We live in America 2025, and legitimately, people giving $1 a month makes a difference because
it's actually great. Yeah,
because what the fuck is this economy?
Woo! Kyle, Disappearing Inque. He wrote as a thing for his own episode.
Hello, this is Kyle from the future.
Whoa.
Oh, so weird. We see in this episode that Terry is finally getting a tour of stuff he should have technically seen already in the Batcave. I was curious, if you had your own Batcave-sized residence or office,
or literally Batman cave, what would it be filled with? James, obviously we know you have a lot of DCAU stuff, but I know when you've been on Film Relist, you've had a bunch of Marvel stuff. Brian, what would you fill your personal man cave or person cave or their cave with? I'm just curious. This never came up when we were talking. Now back to the past. Woo!
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I have the most of is DCAU stuff, but I don't know if I'd want to keep it in a cave because a lot of it could be water damaged very easily.
I would fill my cave with 33% juggling equipment, 33% photography stuff, and 33% workshop. I would be so fucking happy.
I mean, that's an enormous space for even all of those things together. So, yeah.
Bro, I could buy so many table saws.
I also like the idea of just like, I'm in a pretty small room for my office here, but I've got these like, by comparison, like enormous monitors. And then to just be in the Batcave size space and put those, yeah, this is tiny as shit. Like, the back computer is this enormous thing.
Yeah, you'd have to get a pair of 8-foot screens.
Yeah, and
then your graphics card would explode.
No, I just get 8-foot computer to go with it. The bigger the computer, the harder they fall. Keen Machine, Disappearing Ink. I don't know. Greetings, James and Brian. This Keen Machine is to write a message.
Wow.
Wanted to write in to say that this is a very memorable episode for me. For some reason, I've seen this one many times, and I always enjoy it. Love that we get to see Bruce in action. I also enjoy he and Terry's banter throughout the episode. They're starting to build a much more natural camaraderie. Inque is so ruthless, which makes her stand out beyond just her unique powers and design. She really just plays this Aaron guy Aaron guy for a chump.
Nice.
And permanently disfigures him because she finds him annoying. And the full circle this episode creates with the ending is always so amusing to me. Plus the random casting of that lady at the end being the same actress as Alice from the first Mad Hatter episode is wild, but her voice fits perfectly. Poor Aaron, doomed to eat British food for the rest of his days. JK, I actually love mashed potatoes and mushy peas. Keep it keen Machine.
Mashed potatoes are just the greatest, by the way.
They are, yeah. Even, and you're going to be mad at me about this, but even instant mashed potatoes are pretty good. Like,
I'm a little mad. I'm a little mad at you, but I get what you're saying. Like, as far as like most microwavable foods go, like it is absolutely like the low rent version. It's the what's the thing I'm trying to think of? It's like the wish.com or Temu version of mashed potatoes, but like it's okay.
I think I feel like I've said this on the podcast already because it's feeling familiar for some reason, but I went on like a week-long like hike camping trip thing in 2007 or 8 or something where we just everything we were going to have that week we had to pack in with us. So we just brought a bunch of instant this and that. And it was like potato flakes that you add water to. And that was like so much better tasting than any of the other instant food that I just ate a shit ton of that. And it still sticks in. I'll still see it in the store and be like, oh my God, yeah. And be like, no, this is probably just a bag of cancer flakes. Like I should not be eating this or whatever, but it's still in me, you know. It's never left. They're still, you know.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Tip Apricot, Contemplations on Disappearing Ink.
All right, we're finally back with Contemplations on Disappearing Ink, or Inque meets an ink cell. I really like this episode, especially as Ink's second appearance. It's really cool to see her in a more vulnerable context with the fact that she's damaged from the ice and therefore has to rely on others when we'd usually see her tear through things herself with no thought to an accomplice. It's also kind of a horrifying idea to imagine her DNA slowly degrading because she got freezer burned, inky muscle and fat just oozing away like mushy tissue. Ugh. I did like the relationship focus in this episode too, the give and take Terry and Bruce have on Bruce's past and seeing a glimpse into the precursors of the current BB suit that still failed due to Bruce's health. It contrasts nicely against the generally unconsensual toxicity Ink and the Blob Guy show, as well as how they interact with Terry. Can Ink please stop being weird with his mouth? Lastly, I really like the slight blood here. It doesn't take a lot to be impactful, and seeing the blood just dribbling out of Terry's mouth during that first fight really makes me hope there's fast healing in the future, because otherwise his mom is going to be worried when he comes home. Like, what is he doing at that old man's house? Okay, that's all. Bye.
I fell down the stairs. You have 6 black eyes. What are you talking?
You grew 4 more eyes, and those also got bruised. What are you doing?
That's what I mean. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but when there's some shot where a little trickle of blood came out and we made like a, ooh, kind of thing. Because anytime that they show blood in this, it's like a, oh, how'd they get away with it kind of thing or whatever. So
big deal.
That's always nice. Last verse, we have Mark Aquino. If you're okay with it, I know last time he made fun of you and you said you had the ability to veto this. So
I'll allow it.
Okay, thank you.
But you're on thin ice.
Disappearing Inque, or old man fights evil puddle lady, or bro is really out here simping for the goop, or intense sloshing noises. And now we got our first
simping for the goop. Goddamn.
Make it our own subtitle now. Now we got our first villain sequel story of Batman Beyond. Derek Powers / Blight doesn't count as he is an overarching villain. Look, we all have our strange and off-kilter preferences. Aaron's, I'm just reading it that way. Aaron's was, well, her. Not quite sure if I prefer this more than Blackout, but I do think the action is better and more inventive than Inque's debut episode. I'm sure Jordan already mentioned it, and yeah, we did too, but hearing the B-Test theme kick in once Bruce activated the Bat-Mech suit is a shot of pure serotonin. That scene is one of my favorite BB moments. Even with the risk of his heart giving out, Bruce still goes out of his way to rescue Terry. A wise man once said, courage isn't a matter of being frightened.
It's a cowardly dog.
It's a cowardly dog. It's being afraid.
Nice.
This is my general, thank you. It's being afraid. General courage impression. It's being afraid and doing what needs to be done anyway. Although Bruce definitely needs glasses if he mistakes Inque for Terry like that. Of course, at the end of the episode, it goes full circle with Ron now being the one being contained at Gotham Cryogenics with a not-so-secret admirer of his own. Although, am I the only one who doesn't think that girl is like he was at the start? If anything, she seems to be a more likable person than he was. Sure, running out of low-fat ice cream and going to the foot doctor may not be interesting, but hey, it's more endearing than kissing cryogenically frozen criminals. Boss Biggest Bear, yeah, I thought that too. Whenever it shows the camera on her in the last shot as if like, oh, it's all going to happen again. It's like, I don't think so. Like, this lady's a little too innocent, I guess.
Probably.
Boss Biggest Bear hugs to the #1 podcast hosts in this year multiverse of ours, Juke Joint and Burn Notice the Fall of Sam Axe. Thanks. I like Juke Joint. We watch Sinners. It's good. Praise for our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Remember to tell Gab that she rules. Likewise to all his loyal disciples, all the names. You're all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. I got a postcard from Scarface that reads, Mark, we're stuck in South America. I told my better half that we should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque. He's the worst when it comes to directions. Send help. Tell Dylan to send help. But after he tells Gab that she rules. I'm bad at reading. I'm sorry. Well, Dylan, you know
Gab,
what you
you
have
rule.
to do.
Go help Mark.
Wait, help. Well, Dylan, you know what you have to do. Hurry. Till next week. Futuristic smoke bomb.
Love it. Also, isn't it funny that like I think on the pod or after the pod, Kyle was like, "Go see Sinners," and then we saw Sinners, and now we're like,
retroactively in the mail before he says that we say we saw Sinners.
Wow, that's fucking
so
weird.
Crazy. Yeah.
What a world.
We go to the future. I know.
That is what
Brian's also seen the next 3 episodes already.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
My mind is melting out of my mouth like Inque. All right. Okay, we're back from the future. Now, Kyle, lead me into something to do with the number 4.
Well, Fantastic Four is the next Marvel movie, and that will be the film that leads us into the conclusion of the MCU, which is, of course, 2 Avengers films.
And you know what? That's crazy because we have 4 Superman episodes left. How did we do that?
Wow, that was such a good transition.
The name of the next episode is called Unity Superman episode. What do you think it's about?
I think it's going to introduce another like Justice League character.
No.
Fuck.
That's a good, the word unity feels like a team up or something.
Yeah, it does sound like a team up. And I thought they were just going to throw another one at us.
Are you familiar with how much Rick and Morty have you watched?
A good amount.
Do you remember the character Unity?
No, not off the top of my head.
That's not the reference I would have made.
Oh, what do you do? What do you think?
Brian, have you seen John Carpenter's The Thing?
Oh, like decades ago, yeah.
But it's not named Unity.
No.
But yeah, same kind of shtick here. Yeah. Anyway, Unity, Superman.
Okay.
Give me one more guess with all of this information you've just heard.
It's gonna be a bad episode of Superman.
Okay. I'm not going to give anything away with that. Kyle's giving you kind of a maybe.
Honestly, like I had to look at it real quick to remember which one it was, and I have nothing to say.
Okay, good. Yeah.
That speaks volumes in itself.
Kyle, give us some plugs for the film realists. Tell us about it.
When is this coming out in relation? So this will be
Next
out on
week.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So in relation to your podcast.
It's a weird part of the year. I was going over scheduling for things. So if you are listening to this on Friday, which is May 9th, 2025, I will so that Monday, I will have released my review for Thunderbolts, which is, in my opinion, one of the best Marvel movies since Endgame. Say what you will of the MCU in its current phase, but I really think it's an excellent film and doesn't require really any MCU homework, which a lot of people would say is a good thing.
Despite the fact that every character is like a Suicide Squad of B characters from every other movie.
Well, is that I'm looking at the poster and like, is that X Factor? Like, who is that?
A lot of comparison has been made to Suicide Squad, and I think what's so distinctly different from that is the Suicide Squad are doing things because they have no choice.
Yeah.
Right? Their heads get blowed up if they don't do the thing for Amanda Wally Calkins. And what's so interesting about the Thunderbolts is, like, it's a movie about something. It's not just, here's a bunch of B characters, and if they die, nothing happens. This is Katana, she's got my back.
Yeah.
And this is Slipknot, he can climb anything. Like,
yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Right? So it's I think it's a really compelling point for people to jump back into the MCU. Monday coming out, it'll be very interesting because I will be talking about Suits LA, which is, I love the original series, and it's been interesting to watch the spinoff because more often than not, spinoff shows don't work. Following after that, there's a lot of great stuff coming out. Andor season 2 is running, and if you love mature storytelling that doesn't require you to be a diehard fan and be like, look at that. Like, it's an actual exploration of the impact of a Nazi-esque government in the Star Wars universe. It's absolutely incredible.
How timely.
And I absolutely... So there's a lot of really great stuff coming out, and I've had, as you guys have talked about, Brian's got a slogan, and I should tell you guys, so you can't cut this, there may be Film Realist t-shirts on the way that have Brian's new Film Realist slogan on the back. So those should be there.
Which is what?
In a couple weeks. So it's the Film Realist logo, and then on the back says, if you like it, if you're watching it, Kyle's talking about it. So those are on their way. They should be there by the 16th.
Oh my God. Thanks, dude. That's amazing.
But
you did it like the little trailer quotes, right? Yeah. Brian Manley.
Not that.
Esquire.
But rounding out the month is very exciting. It is the conclusion of the Mission Impossible film series.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to see that.
It will
one
be
in
very
theaters
interesting
just for
to
the
see.
Sake of it, yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff coming. I think if you're a diehard fan of just...
I'm just a Simon Pegg fan, so I hope he's in it still.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he is.
Fuck yeah.
At home or the theater, all the big stuff, I'm covering it. So
yeah.
And I'm slowly crawling towards monetization on YouTube, which would be amazing. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe on YouTube. That's where you can catch the podcast and all the shorts that I do for the show.
Brian's currently making sure that he's subscribed to it. I should do that too.
Which I don't think I
feel
am,
like
but
I am.
while we're doing this, listener, I think it's within your capability of typing in the film reel with REEL.
2 E's, yeah.
The film realist on.
I am subscribed. I'm a good person.
Yeah, listener, please go subscribe.
I know Brian loves new original movies. If you haven't yet, check out Sinners. It's absolutely incredible. Ryan Coogler has not missed in his career. It is a vampire film that takes place in Mississippi during the Jim Crow era, being the 1930s. I know Jordan Newman, if you're listening to this, the music is absolutely incredible. There is a oneer. I'm very tired of oneers because everybody wants to do them, which is a long shot with no cuts. But there is a oneer in Sinners that is one of my favorite things I've seen this year.
Okay.
Dude, maybe we got plans for this evening.
I was going to say, I have been wanting to see it.
And then we can listen to the episode.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. Then I can do that on the ride home or something. Anyway, that's the show, everybody. Thank you, Kyle, for being here. Please give us a follow and Kyle a follow. and subscribe wherever you may be listening to this. Please leave us a 5-star review and Kyle a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice. You'll damn well hear it on our show. I don't know if he does that. Thank you to everyone listed in the description for their musical themes and help in making this podcast as yappy as it can be. Go check out their stuff. And thank you, of course, to you, the listener, for listening. And Kyle.
Kyle. It's not going to catch that.
No,
one.
it's not. It's going to sit.
Those won't count in the transcript.
Yeah.
Adjacent.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Much like a disappearing ink, we're disappearing now into the void and leaving.
Down the drain.
We're bloop bloop. We're a potato.
I'm going to do my best Clayface impression.
Sorry to end on that. Okay, bye. Bye, Kyle.
Boy.
Dinner time, Aaron. The cook made your favorites, mashed potatoes and peas. He made some fried chicken too, but with the bones and all, well, you know. Good, huh? So, before I tell you about all the things that happened to me today, I want to thank you for listening these last few months. You're the only one who does, and you'll never guess how much it means to me. Anyway, the store was out of diet ice cream, so I had to drive all the way to the other store, and I almost ran out of juice. I was late to the doctor, but the good news was he got rid of the warts. Well, almost all of them.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted and edited by yours truly, James Strecker, and co-hosted by yours Briley, Brian Maneely. This podcast is brought to you by the Watchtower Database, your one-stop shop for all things DC Animated Universe. To send us a Yoppie beverage, nab some sick show merch, or support us on Patreon, you can visit the links in today's show notes. And thank you very much. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice and follow us wherever you listen to never miss a new show. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.